Nebojša was supposed to be with us today, but unfortunately, he had to stay with a sponsor in Istra. They are actually sending a bottle of wine to Moon with his project. And of course, that's staying in Istra and drinking a wine is more interesting than being in Sarajevo with a bunch of techies. No, but he had commitments for the sponsor, so that's why he was not able to make it.
Hello.
Nebojša.
Hello, Faris.
Just a second, for some reason, the video is not that great.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Hello to everybody. As you can see, that I'm still back. I supposed to leave like 15 minutes ago, go to Porridge. We are still in a hotel room with all our luggage packed, but then I figure out that by the Murph law, we're gonna end up in that hall. There is one small section between here and the Porridge, which doesn't cover the 4G. So I just decided to stay here to finish this, and then we go to Porridge. Hello to all of you. So don't mind the mess behind me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Yes, I will. The project as a project is. I would like. Okay, let's start from the very end. Then I will a little bit rewind and come back to the same place.
Okay.
At the moment, we are one of the 5 finalists in Google Lunar X-PRIZE. Is a global initiative initiated by the X-PRIZE Foundation to privately land a rover on the moon, travel the 500 meters, send some HD videos, some data back to Earth, and to win $30 million. Can you just tell me, is my audio going okay?
It's a bit choppy.
Okay, I will then speak a little bit slowly if it's better.
Okay.
I can hear echo on that. So I'm just checking that. So speak a little bit slower. So this is the basic where we are today. But this whole thing started 10 years ago in 2007. When Google Lunar X-PRIZE announced this competition, worldwide competition, which was attended by more than 300 teams all around the world. During the years, it went down to 34 teams. Then in the last couple of years, it was only 16 teams. And now from the 1st of January this year, that's finally it's only 5 teams left. It's only 4 teams left because Israeli team also pulled out because they were their rocket provider was a SpaceX, because of their explosion 6-8 months ago, had put a little bit delay or a manifest to go there, so they cannot also leave before the end of this year. So basically, it's left only Indian team, which goes with ISRO, which is Indian Space Research Agency, which is equivalent of NASA. They will go there as a payload. Although this is not by the rules, because this whole competition should be that government cannot participate more than 10%, but it's always willing and dealing with this kind of stuff. You know, this Tata, you're all aware who is the Tata, you know, this Tata automobiles, Tata everything, you know, it's very rich. It's Tata. In our language, it's like Babo. So that's very at the moment. But what I would like, because this conference is about IoT, it's Internet of Things. And I've been, while we are doing this moon mission, and actually this new space, which private companies can advance much more in a space initiative, much faster and much better than the government. So far, it was the governments, but it was much more in terms of prestige. Who will put a flag on the moon, or who will achieve something? It was East and West, or Russia, or something, or doesn't matter. But now there is a new movement. I mean, new movement which is 20 years old, 20 something years old movement. It's the same people like Elon Musk, like Bezos, like everybody. It's all of us who've been involved in with the internet. You know, when the World Wide Web started, also was something that when we're trying to explain to people that internet will become what it became today, nobody really understood what we were talking about. Fast forward to today, everybody knows what the internet is. So now what we are doing with the private space is precisely the same thing and precisely the same people. It's a sort of visionaries who see where the things are going in the future. There is obstacles which we will overcome, but obstacles, how I see it, obstacles, when you have a problem, you don't stuck with a problem, you continue planning things because that problem you will solve. Once you solve this problem, you are there. So you don't wait to solve this problem. You continue planning like there is no problem. Once you solve it, you're already there. If you wait to solve the problem, then you are way behind everybody else. And again, Faris, you correct me if I'm wrong, that my speech today should be something to inspire your audience about don't give up or stay in Bosnia or stay wherever you are, to that everything is possible. Please, Faris, fill me on this. Am I missing the point, or this is what I should talk about?
We had a few speakers today that you never should give up, and you should basically try to follow your dreams, even though sometimes people, especially in Bosnia, we are kind of taught from the early years, do not touch, you're going to break it, and so on.
Precisely.
So that's our mentality, and we need to change that.
Precisely, and that's when I'm very proud, because in this Google Lunar X-PRIZE, I'm from Bosnia, I'm from Tuzla originally. In 90, when the war started, I left because that wasn't my war. So I left there, and I was really on my foot. I went first. I went to Cyprus. I was deported because this is how it goes. Then the only two countries without visa was India and Zimbabwe. I flipped a coin. It ended up to be Zimbabwe. I went to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was fucked up as it is too. So it's gonna be fucked up. And I'm coming from fucked up country, so I can see it very clearly. Everybody was saying like there. And then I really Bay Bridge. It's called Bay Bridge. It's a bridge between Zimbabwe and South Africa. I really went by foot. 6 o'clock in the morning. It was in the middle of the summer, our time. It was end of July. And I thought that, Africa is a very hot place. But it was I wasn't so good in the school. So either my professor didn't tell me it's opposite way around, or I wasn't paying attention. But I was freezing like a hell. And I was the only white person in that queue, walking with all the black people from Zimbabwe, I was refugee to refugee, and end up at the end in South Africa, and that was in '92, and then after that everything started happening completely different in a very positive way. Just believing in yourself, also in especially for us from. Not from Bosnia, only Bosnia. From us, from Balkan, from ex-Yugoslavia, or however somebody call it. It's us called underdogs. The one thing that Google Lunar X-PRIZE was very, and I'm very glad about that, they underestimated us. They thought that we are just some funny people from some funny places. But we end up to be in a finals, top 5 in the world. And we managed to achieve that by that synergy. My team is called Synergy Moon Project. Also another thing is called Human Synergy Project. That synergy is the most important thing. That Internet of Things. But I call it Internet of Personality, Internet of Human Beings. We are very good to connect all the technical, the non-living creatures, and we are very good in that. I'm very involved with all around the world with the people who are very advanced stage of doing this job. My whole goal in all these things is to do Internet of People. But Internet of People, not like a Facebook or something like that, but this kind of stuff that each of us, if we, let me tell you my CV, but very shortly. My CV is like that. 1982, I'll not go before 1982. But 1982, 3, I bought my first computer. It was ZX81, Sinclair. Then it was 48, then it was a QL, then it was computers, and everything, and where we are. And that was one part of, and I was hacker and all this stuff. That was one part of my life. And in South Africa, I was doing the same thing. Another part of my life was, then I changed my profession. Then I was like a filmmaker, and a very good one, editor. And I was also working on developing non-linear editing systems with Avid and Division and everything. How can we bridge this, editing on a table with a 35 millimeters film? How can we do it on computers? So that was another part of the thing. Then third thing was let's do something for the kids. Then we were doing so much thing for street children in South Africa, because I live in South Africa. This is when I start. Then after doing so many different things, I was changing field of working. But every time you bring in the new project, you bring what you learned from before. So it goes exponentially. And this is where I figure out why I'm there in the world on this day, on that level, comparing to really much more privileged people all around the world, is because, we call it štab and kanap. Priznaju, you all know what I'm talking about. We learn to think. It's like algorithm. We learn to use algorithms as opposed to take heavy technology and just to implement, and then you don't think how to optimize. We try to optimize everything. So, and while changing these professions and while changing all these fields, you also meet with completely different groups of people. And there's a synergy of networking. Today you have these social networks and all the other stuff where, like, how people connect, and nights like LinkedIn or what it is called. All these things started before. I was just waiting. When I'm gonna have a 4G internet, but flat rate, unlimited, like the first cell phones. When you have a cell phone, you don't need to sit in the office. But we are the people who program machines. Internet of Things, it's like it or not, whatever it thinks, it's something that is happening. It really doesn't matter what we think about that. But the one thing that is very, very, very important, and I really pay strict attention about that, is how do we use that? What for we use? What do we want to achieve with that thing? Because all these things are great if we know what we are doing. And in this room, I don't know how many, because I don't this video. Unfortunately, I cannot see you people there, but you are all aware. You are all aware of technology development, and you're all aware we can do whatever we want. The one
I think that was kind of inspiring. I do have another question going back to your project. Could you tell us, are you the only one, are you the only Bosnian on the project? Are there other Bosnians that are kind of participating?
Oh yes, yes. Oh, it's not, I'm not the only Bosnian. Look, I'm not. I will say it in my language because it make a rhyme. Ja nisam ni Srbin, ni Hrvat, ni Bosanac. Ja sam vanzemaljac. Okay, I had to say it in my language because it makes a thing. But yes, yeah, especially in Tuzla because I'm from Tuzla. This is where I started with that. So we put everybody who are. Remotely interested in and also one thing that I have to tell you to tell all of you when I sail around the world I had even these episodes and everything, so I had a very good press connections with the media. But when I told them that we're gonna now go to the moon, that I change a ship for the spaceship broad for the Svemirski broad, nobody even answered my email. Just to say, okay, maybe you went crazy because you were sailing, you've been alone on the oceans for a long time. And the first press conference that we made in Kuća Plamena Mira, House of Peace Flames in Tuzla, there was one journalist which was my friend. And then I started with a thing called Burek u Svemiru, because that was the only way how to attract the attention of Bosnians. And it was just to attract attention, because once you say Burek u Svemiru, people start listening. Once you get attention, then we start to tell them what we are doing, how we are doing. We managed to make so many astronomical societies, not only in Bosnia, but connect them with all the astronomical societies all around the world. They are working on prototypes of the rovers. Their rovers, because of the money and because of facilities, are impossible to be done in our regions. So we are developing that in the States as well as the rockets. But we are sharing all the knowledge from our big guys. I mean, big guys. They're from all the universities all around, not universities, from all the smart people all around the world. We are bringing that, bringing the knowledge back. That's that point, and also taking our knowledge to them, because we are, and this is not a stupid word. We are smart. It's not that catchy word. Yo, we are smart. We are so smart as everybody else, and we are even trying harder because we have this something that we are trying even harder to prove ourselves. So there is so many people already working, and that I'm collaborating with them, like Edi Čustović, like Mastilović, like you guys, like you Faris or Rončević, Rashid, and everybody else. It's about. I call myself switchboard. I'm not I'm founder of all these things, but I'm a switchboard. I'm somebody who is trying to reconnect all these things. That is a two-way street. So we give and we receive and we give the same thing. So in Bosnia, there is about 50, 60 people who are working on a Synergy Moon project, to answer your question shortly. Yeah, that's shortly. That's shortly. Sorry.
Yes. I have another question regarding your rover project. I heard that you're going to be having some interesting payload coming to the moon.
Oh,
Can you tell
yes.
us about a payload?
You cannot imagine what even the Google Lunar X-PRIZE doesn't know what we are bringing there. We are making picnic on the moon, and we are making really. Like months ago, I had a really big fight and discussion with the Google Lunar X-PRIZE with their lawyers, because they didn't like what I had in mind.
So,
I like smile. No, I can hear this laughing, and this is what I like when we are talking, because I really I don't have problem to say what is reality. I'm not talking about look this, look that. I'm not promoting myself. I'm just telling you how things should be done. So yes, we have let's say the latest one is from students from San Diego. They're gonna brew the beer on the moon. Just now I'm late. I'm gonna be late like half an hour. I'm just looking at the watch. Also in Istria, we're gonna have all these winemakers. Teran is a special kind of wine from Istria that they had a problem with the Slovenians who owned the name on Teran is the name. So I told them, okay, let's all the winemakers together, one drop of that wine, and we bring it there on the moon. Let's get together and also bring the Slovenian guys inside. So let's let, let's solve disputes on not on a political way, but once you're on the moon, once you broadcast from the moon, and this is what's gonna happen in 8 months time, is that we be on the moon, and the whole planet gonna be tuned on that. All the antennas gonna be tuned there. Everybody gonna stream it and broadcast it, and we can say from there like, "Hello, we come in peace." But really, you know.
Sounds good.
And sorry, I'm from Bosnia.
So you're saying in 8 months we're going to see rover on the moon? Is that the
Yeah.
timeline?
Yep.
Okay.
That's time.
So another question that I have, I know you have to run just quickly. So
I have 10 minutes, no problem.
Okay. Bulgaria have launched their first satellite last week. Austria have actually launched a few years ago.
Yeah.
Bosnia is probably light years away, but with your knowledge that you have shared with individuals in Bosnia, can we kind of start working, collaborating, putting our first satellite in orbit around Earth?
Yes, during this summer, by the way. By the way. By the way, and that's a beauty. Recently, like 5 months ago or something like that, I connect with Sven Maricic, who is a prorector, vice dean, or whatever his name in English, prorector of in Pula, who is for transfer of technologies, which is a 3D printing and stuff and everything to the medical issues and everything. So with this Vidolin, with these guys and our guys there, we are building our first satellites that are gonna go there during this summer. That's during this summer. Before we go to the moon, we're gonna place our satellite. These are these CubeSat, these microsatellites. Yeah, even smaller than CubeSats. And another company that I work with is called these Vector Systems. Their specialty is to launch in a polar orbit microsatellites. So everything that is less than 50 kilos, that payload can go less than 50 kilos. So we can put lots of them. Most of this scientific stuff and everything is about less than 1 kilo. So we can put on one payload, we can put about 50 of them. And because, it's my company, so I can put lots of our stuff inside of that. And that's really just, so many times people are asking me, like, oh, you are doing that, wasting the money, it costs so much. Why don't you do something that is more important here, like blah, blah, blah. This is for blah, 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 those blah, blah, blah people that I don't like to mention. But what we are doing is just to show that everything is possible. So if we get together, we do it like that. So we really skip all this bullshit with the politics and everything. We do it this way. The first, and it's much harder to do it with technology. Especially, look, when we work, there is a thing called ITAR, which is International Trade Arms Regulations, which is American law, which is a big problem. Every rocket is a weapon. So there is a big problem about that. So I managed to solve that thing with them. We have a special something. I can go into details, but this is that's the way. During this summer, it's going to be first Croatia satellite, because Croatia doesn't matter that it's a part. I live now in Croatia. Croatia is the only country in the European Union that is not part of ESA, European Space Agency. for stupid. There is everything is written down. I have that document. I have this document. Somebody just have to sign it. Just to sign it. No, sign that thing. This is what we are. It's very funny, idiotic thing that really fighting against. So, Faris, with you and with all of you, look, all of you people there. Also, the last 2 days ago, it was Ivica Puljic and Miroslav Ambroškić, who is part of my team. Ivica Puljic was in CERN. He was also part of the people who discovered Higgs boson. We have all the brain, we have all the connections. The only thing is, fuck the system. We do it our way, and we have, I have the rockets, we have the knowledge, we are connected. Let's do it. Simple as it. There is no magic, there is no big stories about it. I can make a story. Look who I am, blah 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 blah. But it's a bullshit.
Joking. If you look the sign of our conference on our pass is basically, it's like a satellite, and that was done actually on a purpose. So this conference is supposed to seed discussion about putting a first Bosnian satellite, something that high schools in the United States do basically on a yearly basis.
Yes.
Bosnia is still light years away, but hopefully ourselves kind of, without waiting for government to do something, we can actually push it into it sooner.
If somebody is recording this thing, I say from my side, you guys get together, build a satellite. I have the rockets. I bring the satellite up. Simple as this.
The next time we can actually have a plate of our sponsors on a satellite itself. We can see.
However, it doesn't matter how we're gonna do it. It's really as 10 years ago when Google Lunar X-PRIZE came with this competition, I saw it because all the time after that Ansari X-PRIZE, which Richard Branson won, I wanted to be there to make coffee for them, just to be part of the team. That was in 1990s, beginning of 2000s. Today, I'm one of the team who actually is doing this thing. So I'm really saying very openly, when I saw that, okay, what do I need? I need a rocket, I need a rover, I need a lander. So to finish this Google Lunar X-PRIZE thing. So I called my friend Edino Merdic, who is one of the leading scientists, worldwide scientists. He's now in, I think, Leeds in Ireland or something like that in university. And also, if you follow these things, it's like there is a Croatian and Bosnian and everything that are making this the biggest drone and the biggest underwater stuff. Edino Merdic, Dino. Dino was sitting, we were together in the same class in gymnasia. And we were sitting together. So it's just like I call him and say, look, Dino, you do all these things underwater, with this very, very pressure. So it's the same situation, like it's extreme weather, extreme conditions. Yeah, thank you. Extreme conditions. What's the difference between like underwater or up on the moon? Like this, what I have in mind to really enroll, because it cost us like $50,000 to register the team for Google Lunar X-PRIZE 10 years ago. And he told me like, oh, yes, why not? So this is how it started. I asked, I'm not a scientist. I'm connector. I'm the one who put people together. But I know everybody. So when these smart people told me, yes, it's possible, and Dino Merdic is from Tuzla, is from our place, when Faris asked me, what about Bosnia? This is how it started. I'm from Bosnia, and I'm very proud of that. No, not Bosnia as a country. I really don't look the borders. I really don't look the borders. But I like where I'm from. I'm from Tuzla. Tuzla is a very small, cannot see how small it is, which produce so many good things, like hip hop, so many nice things. So why not to do this on the moon? That was my driving power. and also for the audience. It's not like somebody say you should stay here in Bosnia and do something. Look, you should go as much as you can all around the world. Collect the knowledge, network with the people, do so many things, but always bring back to community. Always bring back from where you come from. It's like pay it forward. I had so many mentors in my life, and I become the mentor now. So it's a logical thing how to do things. I don't know what's the age in your audience, but if it's younger one, please listen to my advice. You know, it's very important. Go around, change professions, explore, connect with other people, be open. Look, be open for as crazy as possible. Because trust, somebody told you, look, I gonna land a rover on the moon. It cannot be more idiotic thing to say. But look, 10 years later, I'm in the finals together with Japan, India is already out, and America. America is gonna be out, so it's gonna be only 3 of us. I cannot turn it this way. I cannot turn it this way.
So I think we're running out of time, but let's
Okay.
kind of make a joint statement and call for
Okay.
anyone who is interested to help us build a first Bosnian satellite that we can put in orbit in next 5 years. Call us. You can call Nebojša or
not in the next 5 years. I need to correct. No, I need to correct you on that because there is today. It's possible to be done in a 6 months time to build this thing, these microsatellites. Just as the first one, just to try. And because we are doing so many test launches at the moment, it can always go on one of these test launches. So it's not 5 years plan. 5 years is, I don't know, am I going to be alive in 5 years' time? You know, I want to retire at the end of this year, by the way. But let's do it. Look, let's do it before the end of this year. Let's do it now. You know, let's say like a Kennedy. We choose to go in the space because we are Bosnian crazy motherfuckers, you know?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Nebojša.
Thank you very much.
Live in peace.
And feel free to connect with me. Feel free, all these people there, you know me. My name is Nebojša Stanojević. You can find me on Facebook because usually this is where we exchange most of the news or something like that. And look, the time is of essence. You know, I'm trying to do all these things before the Third World War started because we want to make peace. There is not much time, and I'm not joking about this one, really. So I wish you. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there in a person today, but as you can see, fuck, man, you know, too many things to do in the same time.
We'll welcome you next year.
Yep.
Live in peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Long live it.